While everybody is quick to dismiss Xbox and think that they're dying or that they're going to go third party or whatever the case may be, week by week, I think it depends. Like, some people think, Xbox is this or that. For me personally, I think Xbox is just Xbox. They're going to do their thing. I don't think they necessarily care if we buy Xboxes. Believe it or not, I don't know. That's a weird take, but I just honestly don't think that they care if we do that or anything. So anyway, one of the cool things that I thought that came out, and I wanted to go over this news, was that Xbox is doing extremely well, and everybody wants to kind of talk about Xbox, and they think Xbox is, doing poorly or whatever, but they got their recent revenue, and it's jumped 49% following the Activision acquisition. Microsoft sets all-time records for monthly active users as well. This is what it's all about. This is why it doesn't hurt them to keep going with Xbox, right? Like, yeah, Xbox isn't setting the world on fire in terms of sales, but it doesn't matter. Neither is cloud gaming, but they're going to keep that going as well. So it's very interesting to see this kind of happen. The company completed its acquisition of Activision Blizzard in October of 23. In a process of taking ownership of franchises like Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Diablo, as well as Overwatch, it reflects a significant rise in sales during the second quarter ending December 31st, with gaming revenue up 49% to $7.1 billion, including 44 points of net impact from the Activision deal itself. Now, Xbox content and services revenue rose 61%, driven by 55 points of net impact from Activision, while Xbox hardware revenue was up 3% year over year. As spotted by a game industry analyst, Microsoft said in a new 10-quarter filing that it now values the purchase of Activision Blizzard at $75.4 billion, up from the $68.7 billion originally forecast for when the deal was announced in 2022. The impact of Activision Blizzard on Microsoft results last quarter was $2.1 billion in revenue and a $437 million operating loss. What's very interesting about this is Microsoft also last week had announced 1,900 layoffs across Xbox and Activision Blizzard. It represents roughly 8% of the overall gaming division. In a message sent to the staff, Phil Spencer said the decision was taken after Microsoft and Activision's leadership teams set priorities identified as overlap and ensured that all was aligned for the best of growth. Alongside it was confirmed the news that Mike Ibarra, president of Blizzard, would be leaving as well, which some negative stuff came out about him. I'm not going to pile on to that, but there was also an update. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella offered the following comments on the company's gaming division during its earnings call. He says, "This quarter we set all-time records for monthly active users on Xbox, PC, as well as mobile, where we now have over 200 million monthly active users alone, inclusive of Activision Blizzard games. With our acquisition, we have added hundreds of millions of gamers to our ecosystem as we execute on our ambition to reach more gamers on more platforms. With cloud gaming, we continue to innovate and offer more players more ways to experience games they love and when and how they want. Hours streamed increased 44% year over year. Great content is the key to our growth and access of our portfolio. I've never been more excited about our lineup of upcoming games. Earlier this month, we shared exciting new first-party titles coming this year to Xbox and Game Pass, including Indiana Jones, and we've also announced that they're launching significant updates this calendar year to many of our most durable franchises, which bring millions of players each month, including Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls Online, and Starfield." For the current quarter ending March, Microsoft CEO Amy Head forecast in gaming we expect revenue growth in the low 40s, including approximately 45 points of impact from the Activision acquisition. We expect Xbox content and services revenue growth in the low to mid 50s, driven by 50 points of impact from Microsoft acquisition. Hardware revenue will decline year over year, so they're expecting hardware not to do well. But again, and it was funny because I saw this article, and it's not exactly wrong, but it was talking about, Microsoft says that we don't have to buy an Xbox to play Xbox, and people aren't. They did do well in December. They lowered the price and things like that. But at the end of the day, when you give people all these other options to play your content, you're not going to sell your stuff. Like, Microsoft could be, I know people don't want to believe this, but Microsoft could be neck and neck with PlayStation if they did what PlayStation did and just had exclusives. I know people don't want to believe that, or people want to think that that's kind of wrong or whatever, but it's 100% accurate. And also, and this is why, I know I get a lot of crap for, people think that, like, I'm not a PC guy, right? I'll never be a PC guy. I can't stand gaming on PC. I think that it's not for me, right? And I think that it 100% hurts the outlook of the console. It hurts how the console is perceived, because there's nothing that you can play elsewhere. People will go out and buy a PlayStation to play those PlayStation games. Now, here's the interesting thing, right? I think, to be honest with you, people, when we get to this point, if this happens, who knows if this will happen or not, but if there's ever a point where PlayStation games are day and date on console as well as PC, I think we're going to see a huge deviation away from the consoles, right? Because there's never been a time where, I don't have to buy an Xbox and a PlayStation. I could just buy a PC and a PlayStation, and then it'll be, I could just buy a PC. Yes, there's going to be some console gamers like me that will just refuse to buy PC, or refuse to get into PC gaming, but you will see a significant drop, in my opinion. So, it'll be interesting to see how that kind of plays out. For me personally, like I said, I think that it's one of those situations where, as gamers, we kind of look at this and we go, well, Microsoft has kind of lost their way a little bit. They need to really kind of push Xbox in a way that they've never done before, and that's I think fair. Like, to me anyway, I think that's something that's really fair, and I hope that they do that. I hope that they push Xbox, and they continue to kind of do that. I want to see Microsoft be successful. I want to see Xbox be successful, and I think to do that, you have to be able to have great games and great content, and you have to have some kind of identity, I think, more than anything. So hopefully we'll see that before too long. I know a lot of people are excited about the kind of future of what's going on with Xbox and gaming in general, but for me personally, I think that Microsoft has done a fantastic job of making sure that gamers have stuff to play, and that's the most important thing. Like, it's hard to say, hey, Microsoft sucks, or Microsoft is this or that. It's like, sometimes they're just more understated than anything. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's going to be an exciting time. Like, it's already an exciting time to be a gamer. There is always going to be some kind of uncertainty there as well. So we'll see what happens. I know for me personally, I'm excited about the future of Xbox and Microsoft. Until they totally, the only thing that Microsoft could do that would really, like, take me off of Xbox is, you put your big games on PlayStation. I think that would be the straw that broke the camel's back. Hopefully we don't see that. I think they realize, I would hope that they realize that you need some kind of identity as a console. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I'll link this. You guys can check it out. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.